A biblical perspective on life, culture and current events. This is 2020 on Vision.
If you feel like you're a spent force, some encouragement for you today. You might know our guest, Peter Irvine. Peter was part of the team that launched McDonald's in Australia and is also the co-founder of Gloria Jean's Coffee across Australia as well. He thinks God has not finished with him yet, and he thinks God has not finished with you either. He's been working on some amazing initiatives, including chaplains in pubs and hardware stores. Peter Irvine, welcome back to 2020.
Hi, Andrew. Back again.
Well, I tell you what, I can't get enough of this. I'm really enjoying these conversations we're having. But, Peter, let's start with age. Do you think age should play a part in the decisions we make in life?
Well, you notice as you get a year older every year that there's a few more things you didn't have before. But what I've discovered is, Moses went, to 120 and his eye was not dim or his natural vigour gone. And Job, after what he went through, went to 140. These were after Noah and all those that went for a lot longer. So, I say that age is a mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. And the thing is, in the past, a number of years ago in business, people didn't want to know anything about anyone over 50 because they felt they were too old, and it was like hire a teenager while they know everything. And these days, a lot of people are actually seeing that someone that's been around a while has a bit to contribute, and you can see a lot of them working, and those are retired. Some of them come back for 2 or 3 days a week. Could be Bunnings, could be anywhere, volunteering in their church, in our Lifehouse care stores that we have through our different campuses, and you've got them there. So they have a role to play and they can show good leadership. So age is something, it's in the head. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter.
Well, I love that because I'm sure you're not afraid to tell our listeners today. How old are you, Peter?
77.
So you're 77 years young and you've started something called Kingdom Momentum. And there's some initiatives that you're currently working on in your youthful 77 year on the earth. So let's talk about some of these current initiatives. Passionate parenting. Tell me about that.
Well, Sue and I this year, we asked God, what do you got for us this year? I've dropped out of a few other things, but I forgot to close the back door, so stuff keeps coming in. Still keeping busy. So one of the ladies in our church had started putting together a course called Passionate Parenting, and it had enormous interest from couples. And so we sat with her. I've got another friend involved here, and we helped her do a plan and put down what budget she needed to get videos put together. She was writing a book, but the workbook. So she had 6 couples willing to be videoed. So did the whole plan. And I said to her, when you've got a plan, it's interesting how God brings the people with the seed funding. So the seed funding came, and the videos have been done. They're nearly ready. And she's already getting interest from people churches who want to start running passionate parenting. And she will help them to either do it, they can do it themselves, or she can actually go there, and then the rest can be done via Zoom, or they can do them themselves because of the material. So this is about helping parents to be really passionate about good parenting. And it's very desperately needed today. And so that's one of the things. The second one is...
Well, I just want to say I love that because, it's a cliche, but it's something that we're not taught. No one teaches us in school or university how to be good parents, do they? But it's something, if we are parents, it's something we need a lot of help with, but where do you get your help? So what a great idea.
Well, when this couple first are in Sydney, they did approach their church down there. Their church since rang them and said, can you come back and we need this course again for new people. So she's going to be doing that. So that prompted her, we encouraged her to put it together because this has a lot of legs in terms of other churches and other people who will want to do this program. So that's pretty well close to ready to go. So it's called Passionate Parenting. If someone puts something on my website, kingdom-momentum.com.au, a message, I can get this person to follow them up. The second thing we're working on is a thing called Mobilise. The head of New South Wales ACC, Paul Bartlett, and Neil interviewed him a few weeks ago, and he pulled back from his church in Wollongong because he took his church out into the marketplace and to actually reach people where they are, not expecting them to come to church. And they saw through this a lot of connections, a lot of people making decisions, moving into discipleship class, being baptised, and they planted a whole range of more campuses because of the people. So he saw this has got a real opportunity. So another person, myself, we sat with him and did a business plan, helped him through that, put a whole plan together, gave him some tips where to go. He's got seed funding. He's pulled that together. He's trialling 4 churches around the country, and he's now got interest in America. And these churches are thinking we're doing this. When he goes in there, talks to them, and look at what their assets are, because it's no use starting a program when you don't have the people there to do it. So he looks at what their strengths and so on, and then takes them out into the marketplace, and they're getting phenomenal results. So that's going to launch out into the marketplace. So again, if your church is interested in being mobilised out in the community, then there's another one. And the third one is, and this came out of a message our pastor gave about a couple from YWAM were in New York many years ago, walking around the streets asking people could they talk about Jesus, and not much interest. When they changed their script and said, "Can we pray for you?" everyone said yes.
Wow.
It sort of prompted this idea that we've got a lot of chaplains. We've got Christian service chaplains. We've got in the schools. We've got them in hospitals, in police, in correctional centre. So I said to our pastor and our board, why don't we take chaplains out into the shopping centres and hardware with chaplain stations, because the shopkeepers are under stress, they've got staff under stress, and they've got customers coming in, the amount of people with mental illness or difficulty or no food or whatever coming in. And the chaplain could be someone they can talk to. He's not going to solve all their problems, but he will have a list of services in the community that are available to help them. The church has quite a few itself, but there are others. So we're just about to launch our first person out into a shopping centre in a chaplain station, and he'll go around and introduce himself to all the shop owners and staff. So they have difficulty with someone, or they themselves going through difficulty with bills, rent. I mean, we've only been through Bondi Junction not a few weeks ago where the knifing down. It's never recovered. The shopkeepers, the people aren't going back in big numbers. Shopkeepers under more stress. So there's a real need for a chaplain in the market.
What an amazing! I love the idea. And how are these chaplains all volunteers, or is there some funding to pay them? How does that work?
Some large funding came in. Again, we put a plan together. I got together with our lady in charge of chaplain, her husband, another guy, myself and Sue. We did a plan. Put together, we're going to need a lot of money for this. Significantly amount came in towards this, plus the church is putting money into this as part of their missions month, which is June. So we've got a budget. Now, some people will be a half a day chaplain, some will be full day. There'll be probably one or two, maybe full time. But it's a certain style of people you need to go into these areas, and they'll be trained. Fortunately, one of our pastors who was not working every day had one day spare. He said he's done all the training to be a chaplain. Mental health, he's done, everything, working with children, the whole lot. And so he's going to be the first one to go in because he's already trained. But we're going to be running training with Chaplaincy Australia up here to train a whole range of people. Now, some of them will be volunteers, quite a lot maybe, but some will be paid. We've got the budget to be able to pay them.
That's awesome. So good. So good. So have you got a plan? How many chaplains do you hope to have, say, in 5 years across Australia?
Oh, I haven't got to that yet. We thought we'd just get this one up and go because then we've got to work on the next budget.
Yeah. But, I mean, I can just sense, it's just such a need for it, like you said, and I think a lot of people will get helped through those chaplains. Because I think, speaking generally, I'm just thinking of as myself, as an Aussie, I think most Aussies kind of do trust chaplains, don't they? They may not trust pastors as much anymore as they used to, but I think the average Aussie kind of likes chaplains, don't they?
Yeah, well, we thought of talking about this and said, do we need a different name like care station or something? Then we thought, well, chaplains doesn't have a bad name. You talk to people because they're the first responders. Like at Bondi Junction, there were external chaplains came in, the Salvation Army and others provide them for bushfire, flooding. So they're seen, as coming in and helping. And it can't solve all your problems, but it's someone for people to talk to and help connect them with people or whatever needs to happen,
Yeah, absolutely. And because, let's be honest, I mean, pastors are a problem, and I have been a pastor, and I love pastors, and I love church, but everyone kind of knows with a pastor, they kind of represent a church, and they kind of deep down want you to go to their church as well. So people can often, I think, misunderstand the motives of pastors, but with a chaplain, they're not trying to get you into their church or their organisation. They're just trying to genuinely help you, aren't they? And I think maybe that's why we trust them more.
Yeah, that's right. So we haven't promoted it hard. That's come Sunday week, but across 5 campuses, but we've already got 6-7 people already registered interest.
Great. I love it, Peter. I love it. And I love the fact that you're 77 and you're just so active. I mean, you've got 3 fairly big things going on there, and you're obviously passionate about this, and this is making you get up in the morning. And I'm sure you've got a few more things yet to be released. Am I right there?
Oh, yes. We've still got all the other things. I'm marketplace pastor for our church because we want to encourage all our people in the marketplace that they can be as-you-go chaplains, if you like, without officially being one. And we're resourcing them. We're giving them resources to help them. If they need legal issues, we've got people who can help them, marketing, digital, all sorts of stuff that helps them managing their people. And then I help John Sycamore with Half Time with Business on Purpose, where we've got Christian business people who want to grow to another level and become real kingdom businesses. So they're always on the go as well, every month.
Yeah,
just
amazing.
A few things.
Just a couple, mate. Just a couple. I love it. You're reinventing retirement. That's what you're doing. Peter Irvine, I want to thank you so much for joining us today.
Great. Thank you, Andrew.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.